Namaste. My greatest and deepest apologies for all of the challenges that I've had with this week's Dharma talk. Um, my computer died, so I'm really sorry that I left you all hanging in the balance. Please rejoin. I really am so sorry for the issues today. However, the wait will be worth it. I'm excited about this topic. It's near and dear to my heart because I had a busy life, and yoga was one of the tools that I used to go from frazzled to calm. This Dharma talk isn't about my experience. We can do that on another time. Yet today we are going to start to scratch the surface of the ways that even 1 minute of yoga can enhance your quality of life, specifically help empower you to go from frazzled to calm. So without further ado, I don't want to keep you. Your time is valuable, as is mine. I promise to keep this between 15 and 30 minutes, and we're at the 15-minute mark. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm Dawn Haywood. I am the owner and teacher with Dawn's Yoga and Wellness. I am an intuitive yoga teacher who empowers women over 40 to use yoga to go from frazzled to calm. I'm going to go take a moment here to say hi to Nicole, who's joining us live. If you are tuning in live, I'd love for you to drop hashtag live in the comments. Please also feel free to ask any questions you might have. I'll do my best to answer them live. If not, I'll go back later on this evening and get those answers for you. To get started, I always like to start my Dharma talks and my classes with a moment of grounding. Hey Rachel, welcome. So please come to a comfortable position. You can be lying down or seated. You can take your gaze down or close your eyes and settle in. Inhale through your nose and slowly exhale through your mouth. Inhale through your nose and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Pause here for a few moments to observe both your breath and the sensations the breath is creating in your body. And gently come back to the present moment. You can open your eyes, and if you'd like to share your experience with that very brief yoga exercise tool, I'd love to hear your experience in the comments. So this topic is near and dear to my heart, as I mentioned earlier, because I live a very busy life, and several years ago I made the choice to stop running the rat race, and yoga was one of the tools that I was able to use to create a sense of calming in my life. And I have a couple of comments that have come in. Rachel said she had a much needed break, and Nicole said it was very calming and very needed. You both are most very welcome. And both of them really hit the nail on the head with respect to why it can only, you can practice for yoga for a minute and get a benefit. Essentially, we are in a society that values busyness. We have been taught over the years in this capitalist society that rest is bad. We have to be productive. And if we aren't being productive, if we aren't constantly moving, we're not doing what we're not achieving anything. We're not successful. We're not this, we're not that. Name, fill in the blank. And as we grow older, that stress, that constant feeling of needing to be on, that activation and constant activation of your fight or flight or freeze reactive, the sympathetic nervous system, can cause the body and mind and soul to start to break down. And some of the outcomes or some of the symptoms of this constant go can be exhaustion, both physical and mental exhaustion. You may find yourself getting irritated with family members, friends, coworkers. You snap in your responses. Your tone may be irritated when you're responding to people. You may find your appetite changes, your physical sensations, your physical appearance may change. And eventually over time, if you are not taking the opportunity to rest and reset and tap into your parasympathetic system, the body is going to tell you and force you to stop, whether it is with a disease or just with other life circumstances. It could be something external or internal. And with a practice of yoga, you will, in the world I offer, in the teachings I offer, in the space I offer, you have a safe place to slow down. You have a safe place to reconnect to the tools that you already have inside of you. Most specifically, your breath. I really like to talk about the breath because it is always with us, and really the quickest way to reset your parasympathetic nervous system is by paying attention to your breath. And I understand many of you are busy and feel that yoga is too slow and you don't have time to dedicate 30 minutes, 60 minutes to go to a yoga class, whether it's because of your lifestyle or you just don't have the attention to focus that long. And that those are absolutely valid reasons. Yet at the same time, you can't afford not to schedule in the time. And the invitation here in this space is to explore the different tutorials I offer, and also the tips that I have in the free guide I have I'll put the link to all of these resources in the comments for you to go back to. Actually, I'll probably put it in the event itself, not on this video, so it's easier to find. So there's a freebie with 5 one-minute tips to use yoga to go from frazzled to calm, and there will be a couple of exercises that we will do at the end of this talk that you can begin to incorporate into your practice, as well as just tuning in, staying engaged with the group. I'm dropping tutorials every week and quick tips every week. that you can start to incorporate into your regular routine. So with the benefits of paying attention, again, coming back to this concept of resetting the parasympathetic nervous system, I'm checking my notes. I apologize for the extended pause here. So let's take a moment here and pause. The invitation is to stop, and I'm going to stop talking, I promise, and give you a few moments of silence to feel the way your breath is moving in your body. And I'm going to give you a minute here. And take a deep breath in and exhale. I'm going to give you a few moments, probably about 10-15 seconds, to observe any changes that that deep breath created in your body. And coming back, I'd love to hear what your experience was with that exercise. Rachel offered that stress and overworking will definitely have a negative impact on the physical body, and some of those impacts involve weight gain. For example, increased cortisol hormone. Yes, very good point. Yes, that is very true, especially as we age. Additional impacts or dysfunctional sleep rhythms, hypertension, and increased heart rates. And she finds that yoga combats the stress hormones and helps to regulate the heart rate and reduce the physical toll of stress. Yes, thank you, Rachel, for your insight. And you said it very perfectly. Thank you. You're absolutely right. It's all of that and more. Not only do you have the physical benefits, you have the mental benefits. Over time and with practice, your mind begins to reset. It begins to notice when the mind is telling stories. It begins to notice when the moment there's something going on that's causing your body to become tense and filled with stress. And then with that recognition, you're able to then tap into the tools that you've used through your yoga practice to help get your body and get your mind reset so that you can respond instead of react. So thank you for your insights. So to close up, I don't want to keep you more than the 15 minutes. We're going to go a little bit over simply because there's two 1-minute exercises that I would like to share with you. The first is a actual pose. And it comes from, the inspiration came from Trauma-Informed Yoga Affirmation Deck by Zabahaya Yamansky. She's also known as Zabby. She does a lot of work in the trauma-informed yoga teacher training, a lot of research. So her cards are the inspiration for this pose. And the pose is ragdoll with arm circles. Here's the card. So to practice this pose, come to a standing position. Oh, my head is cut off. I'm sorry here, but it doesn't really matter. So come into your comfortable standing position and inhale and exhale. Push your hips back, bend your knees deeply, bring your chest towards your thighs, head down to the earth. You can place your hands on either elbow, pausing here to release any tension, anything that isn't serving you in this moment. Breathing naturally and deeply. And you can stay here, or if you'd like, you can begin to circle your arms, taking your fingertips and drawing a circle on the ground beneath you, and then reversing your circles. And when you're done, take your hands and begin to walk them up to a standing position here. And there you have it, a 1-minute yoga pose that you can use to help tap into your parasympathetic nervous system. And what would be a Dharma talk without some sort of a breathing exercise? Yes, Rachel, you can bend the knees. In fact, I encourage you to bend your knees, because if you bend your knees, you have the opportunity to create less space between your torso and your thighs. And for some people, that can be very comforting to have the support for your chest on your thighs. So yes, please bend your knees, because you actually, by bending your knees, you're actually taking tension off your lower back, because this pose isn't about stretching, it's about the release. So any adjustments you need to make the pose more comfortable, I very strongly invite you to do that, and I try to incorporate that into my classes as well. So our final exercise for today is going to be a breathing exercise, and you don't have to practice this. You can just you can actually turn off if the sound that we're going to make could be a challenge and could cause some dis-ease for you. So I invite you to take what you need, and if you need to leave, please do so. You are most welcome, Rachel. So for this exercise, we're going to buzz like bumblebees, and I'm not going to have us buzz for a full minute, although you certainly can set a timer and buzz for a full minute and taking breaths as you need to. This is also a great tool and practice that you can do with children, especially young children. They like creating animal sounds, or at least mine did, and the children I've worked with in the past. So, coming into your comfortable space, deep breath in through your nose. Push your lips together and begin to buzz. Actually, you don't put your lips together, but begin to buzz. Allow the sound to completely fill your head and your brain, and just allow yourself to experience the sound. And anytime you need to take a breath, please do so. Inhale and buzz the air out. And as you end this round, the invitation is to sit quietly and observe the impact the buzzing had in your body. love to hear your feedback on that, whether you liked it or didn't like it, how it felt. And this is the end of this week's Dharma Talk. I have had so much fun sharing this knowledge with you and these practices with you. I hope that you take away from this talk some different ideas of ways that you can incorporate some yoga into your life, that you have a little more of an understanding of why even 1 minute of yoga can help you. And I hope you are empowered to know that you can do yoga and that you don't need to dedicate hours to a yoga practice and still have the benefits. Marcella, I'm sorry. Yeah, buzzing can take practice. Yeah, and I'm a musician, so I think that may be an unfair advantage. I am a woodwind player, and I've also dabbled in some brass instruments as well. So yes, with practice, it will come. If the buzzing sound doesn't work, you can hum. You can just do any kind of sound, just to move the space and reset. Again, just something that will allow your brain to have a little bit of a rest. So it's been my pleasure to be with you tonight, and I will drop the link to that free guide in the onto the main page of this event. So if you have any questions, let me know. If you have any requests, both for poses that you want to learn how to do, as well as any yoga topics or topics of how yoga can relate to your life, please let me know. I will have the invitation out for next week's Dharma Talk by the beginning of next week, and I am going to be recording a new tutorial, which again this week was by request of one of our group members. So thank you, Nicole, for your kind words. And yes, Rachel, it drowns out the monkey mind. So that's a great way. If you don't like sitting in silence, it's another tool you can use to drown out the monkey mind. So thank you for that. I hope you all have a great rest of your day and evening, and I will see you all very soon. Be well, my friends.